It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamillah Lodge, and I'm pleased to have you, Darin Minors, your founder and CEO of FlowAI Bermuda.
Yes, I am.
Okay, now I have a sense of what you do because of the name, but before we get into all of that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, like you said, my name's Darin Minors, and for one, I'm happy to finally be here.
Yeah, we made it happen.
Yeah. So, I'm known in a few circles, as we were talking about earlier, within Bermuda in the sporting community and also community in general. But in this capacity, yes, I'm the founder and CEO
of FlowAI.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you think it was important to establish this company? And is this your first journey as an entrepreneur?
So I wouldn't say it's my first journey as an entrepreneur because I DJ on the side.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We were just talking about how you do all the things.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's my first journey as an entrepreneur, but I would say it's my first journey in this full capacity.
Okay.
Like I said, people don't really think of DJing as a business, but it is.
It is.
But when you talk about an actual AI company, that's a real different ballgame.
Okay.
Interacting with various, business owners throughout Bermuda. Actually, the world, really.
So tell me a little bit about FlowAI and what it is and why you thought it was important to start it.
So FlowAI is both, I guess you could say, an AI consultancy, as well as we build automations for mainly small to medium-sized businesses, trying to relieve some of the pressure points or just some of the constraints that they hear from their day-to-day operations.
Okay. So give me an example.
The best example I could think of is as an entrepreneur, you're wearing multiple hats.
Yes.
So you're both answering phones, you're doing the admin work, finance, the administrative work. You haven't even got to actually run your business.
Not yet.
You know what I mean? So an automation bill will come along, say an AI receptionist. It takes that hat off of you. So now that AI receptionist is going to answer the phone. It's going to capture and log all the information that you would have been doing. So, that's just one simple.
And that's giving you back the time, right?
Correct.
Because you have someone else to. And so is this something that you had to learn how to do? Because AI, even though it's been around for a while, it's just now, I think, getting mainstream where people are like, well, if you're not using AI, what even are you doing, right?
Yeah.
So how has it been for you in terms of getting buy-in from your customers?
Well, I've been in the AI realm for 3 years now. But I've only just recently started to engage customers and try and actually sell products to them over the last, since September, so what's that, 5 months? Give or take. But the way how I get customers to buy into it, I relate it to, I take away the whole AI automation aspect of it, because even though, like you say, a lot of people says, you need to be using AI, but it's still a resistance against AI. So what I try to relate it to is something that you use in everyday life that you never thought about before. So something simple as getting in a car and you want to wind the window down. Before, you used to get in the car, you used to manually wind that window down.
Yes.
Now you get in the car and you see something where y'all got to manually wind even.
You don't know what to do. Have you seen that video?
What's that for?
It's an actual video of a young person in a car, and the parent is like, wind the window down, and they literally are clueless because it's the old school winding. And I'm sure some people listening to us will be like, what is she even talking about? So I guess what I'm hearing you say is you take kind of the mystery out of it. Because it can be scary for someone who's not used to it, right? They're used to doing things manually or the old school way. But for me, I think it presents a lot of opportunities because you get that time back.
Yep.
And time is money, right?
Yeah, time is definitely money. You know, I mean, how much times have you been doing anything in life?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I even take away the whole business aspect of it, setting up for a party, you know, your best friend's party, decorating and all that. You're coming down to crunch time, you're saying, if only I had an extra half hour or hour. So, you know, there's time.
Getting that time back.
Yeah.
So how have you been, I guess, letting people know that this is what you do now? Like you said, you do so many different things. You coach football, you're a DJ on the side, now you started this business. So how do people know that you exist?
I literally just started pushing it out in January, a little bit in September, but more so in January via LinkedIn.
Okay.
And just, you know, I'm a door-to-door salesman. You know,
it's so funny. I just had a conversation. We're actually getting ready to have a sales workshop, so maybe that's something you'll be interested in. I'll let you know afterwards. But about the process of actually engaging in sales, and that's literally what you have to do. You're going door to door, pretty much saying this is a service that's being offered. You need this service. Are you targeting any specific industries?
Yeah, I mean, so right now, even though I tell everybody I'm open in terms of the services that we look to provide, but the goal is to niche down because the AI realm is so vast. If you try and get every industry, you can get lost.
Right.
So for me, I am targeting mainly, like I said, the small to medium-sized businesses in the business receptionist area. As I said, the AI receptionist, which could be hair salons, barbershops, nail techs, you know, plumbers, electricians, and things of that nature there.
So in the trades, maybe?
Well, yeah, there's definitely in the trades. I mean, I would love to get into the construction industry, you know, because I know a lot of their processes are manual. But yeah, so that's really industries that I'm going for targeting right now.
So speaking of the manual processes, and we already talked about having a receptionist, what are some of the other types of ways that things can be automated to make it easy for you, or some of the other implementations, I guess I would ask, that you can use AI for?
Appointment setters, you know, it'd be easy if I just was to explain a flow, really, because...
Yeah, go ahead.
So...
Hence the name, FlowAI.
FlowAI,
Got you. Okay, it takes me a while, but I get there eventually.
So, I mean, let's just use a hair salon.
Okay.
And I know it's because I had a client who I'm actually working on something for right now. So, a phone call comes in, you know, prior to the automation, somebody's got to answer that phone. Somebody's got to put that information, you know, in the person's calendar as a booking. And, you know, somebody's also got to do follow-ups. And sometimes somebody wants to change their appointment. So where the automation bill comes in is one, the individual calls into the Sean's hair salon. You know, the AI receptionist picks up the call, it logs all the information, it plops it right into your calendar, sends the client a confirmation of the booking. It also sends the hair salon, you know, that this is the appointment. So everything's all there. Now, if that client now wants to change that appointment, you still call back, change that appointment, order the AI receptionist, and it will be changed in your calendar. You haven't touched anything yet.
I need that in my own life. What are you talking about? I need somebody to help me manage these events, like you said, the children's games and all that stuff. Just trying to keep track of that. Do you do that? No.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, right?
Anything's possible.
Like, look, it's so funny because, like, when you start business, sometimes you think you're going to be doing one thing, and then you end up, the market tells you need to be doing something else. So who knows? You might be setting people's personal calendars.
That actually happened to me, though.
Really?
So, for instance, when I first came into the AI realm, I was developing a resume reader where you would plop in keywords and it would read the resume. You know, so instead of you having to go through 100 resumes, it will dwindle it down based on
what they're looking for.
Right. And a certain amount. But the problem is that nobody didn't really want it.
Really?
No. So what was actually taken off was, you know, the appointment setters.
Got you.
And the AI receptionist. So I pivoted.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do, right? That's what entrepreneurship is about. It's like you think one thing, you're like, this is great. It's going to help me. But the reality is people will tell you what the market's going to say. This is what we actually need. Yeah. And so I guess for you, you found that administrative support, and that's where it is now.
Yes.
Okay, so when you talk about the different applications, right? A lot of them have AI already built in. So like Microsoft 365, Outlook, Google, QuickBooks. How do you approach connecting those systems that some people already rely on with your current system that you work with?
So what most people don't realize is that the systems that you use it at a top level. You know, you just use it for what it is. So for what I would do is I would ask you, what's the goal or the reason why you use that system? You know, and then I look at, okay, this is the goal that you want. And you're saying you have 5 systems, but those 5 systems are probably not even talking to each other. So then I try and figure out a way through automation to say, instead of you having to come out of this system to go into this system, copy information from this system to go into this system, we connect it all the way through automation. And all of that's possible, but you don't really know that because you only utilize it at the top level.
Right.
It's a whole next levels, I should say, below it.
So do you go through and kind of do an audit of what people currently have? Like, what should people expect if they reach out to you and they want to take advantage of the services that you offer?
So what we do is, it was 2 ways how you can go about it. Most people, they know what their issue is. So I just audit their that one workflow. You know, we started from the beginning straight through to the end product. And then from there, I ask you, okay, so where's your pressure point? You know, where's the point that is causing you the most pain? And that's where we look to automate that process if we can. Okay. Because not all the time we can.
That's interesting. Because in my mind, I'm like, you can automate anything as long as you're willing. So have there been any instances where someone's wanted automation and you have been unable to do it? And what are some of those things? And do you think it's only a matter of time before you actually are able to automate whatever that is?
Not so much that I couldn't do it.
Okay.
But I know my limitations. You know, that's really what it comes down to. So I'm not into the process of just selling you something for the sake of selling you something. Like, I'm going to sell you something that actually works.
Okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, I'm about making you look good. And if you look bad, I look bad. That's what I tell everybody.
Because they will tell.
Right.
They'll be like, Darin did this.
You end up on Marge's list.
Yes, exactly. And we don't want that. No. We want to be on there for the good things, right? He made my life so easier. I gained back 5 hours of my day. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily that it couldn't be automated. It just wasn't a service that you provide at the time.
Because even to go a step further, sometimes the issue that people are describing that they're having, it's not, automation's not going to fix it. You see what I mean? Like, it's a human problem.
Oh.
Right? So, for instance...
So, you mean we can't use AI to fix the problems we have with our humans?
No.
Damn.
Not yet. You know, because if y'all... Say, actually, I could give you an example with an individual that I was interacting with the other day. He wanted me to build him a CRM to extract information from a database that he had. But the problem was that based off of what he was telling me, I could tell that the data within the database that he had was corrupt. Yeah. I was saying, like, so I could build it for you, but your goal is to get a certain type of information, and based off of what you're telling me, your information is corrupt, so you're not going to get your end result. You're going to end up with it's the system that I built for you.
Right.
That you paid me for.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
giving you bad information because you don't have good information.
So I tell them that instead of focusing on automation, you have to focus on how you're obtaining this information. That's human, interaction. That's not automation.
But is there a world in that scenario where you can automate the access or the getting of the information? So like you said, the person at the AI receptionist answers the phone and gets the proper information. Because maybe he's not asking the right questions.
So without going into too many details of it, the issue was he was having issues for the individuals actually giving the information.
Oh, okay.
You see, so I told him that, like you said, I could build something for you to get that information correctly.
Yes.
But if the people have resistance of actually giving you the information, then it's
still not going to work. Right.
I can do for you.
Right. So, what are some of the key areas that businesses should consider? Like regular small and medium-sized businesses, what are some key areas that you think automation will just help them be more efficient, be better business owners, better entrepreneurs?
To be honest, it's hard to say to provide key areas.
Okay.
But I would say this. Do not get in the habit of thinking that your business only needs to operate from 9 to 5. You operate, as a small business, your business, depending on what service you're in, can actually be 24/7. And you don't need the enterprise level resources to do it because automation actually allows you to do this now.
Okay.
So it's things like that. Also, don't get into the habit of thinking that I'm overwhelmed and I can only do so much. Automation actually can assist you with that.
Okay. So I want to switch gears a little bit.
Sure.
And talk a little bit about you.
Me.
As an entrepreneur. And the whole kind of process and how you manage what you're doing, right? Because like you said, you've been doing this for 3 years. Right. What did you do before? And why did you decide entrepreneurship was the way to go?
Well, I still have my main job.
Okay. You know what I mean? So you're doing this on the side?
Yeah, doing this on the side. But, the reason why I wanted to go into the entrepreneurship realm in this capacity is more so because I once had an idea and I never followed through with that idea. And I watched another individual come 9 years later.
And do it.
Similar to what I had envisioned for myself, but the markets was basically the same. And to this day, he's extremely successful.
Right.
So obviously, I've been kicking myself
every time.
And the individual is actually now one of my good friends. But at the time, I never knew him or whatever.
Right.
So I just kick myself, and I just always say it that
what if? Yep.
If the opportunity presents itself again, I'm gonna go for it.
I love that. I mean, that's good advice, I think, for people to hear, because a lot of times when we meet with entrepreneurs, they're nervous about sharing their idea. They're fearful of actually going out and doing it. And I'm like, the worst thing ever is exactly what you said, is when you have this idea in your head, you've been ruminating on it, thinking about it over and over again, and then you don't do it. And you see someone else do it, and they are winning, and you're like, that could have been me if only, you know what I mean? So many times we do that. So I think it's great to hear you say that, because I'm sure there's someone else feeling the same way, about maybe an idea that they have or something that they want to pursue. So I mentioned fear. Can you talk to me about how you resolve that fear? Like you said, the first time you didn't do it, and now you're like, dang it. So was that just like, this time around, I'm not going to let anything prevent me from doing it? Because why didn't you do the idea the first time?
Because I was comfortable in, so comfort is the enemy of any entrepreneur.
Look at you dropping gems. He dropping wisdom.
It really is. Most people don't venture out on their own because they're comfort. You know, you're just in your nice little comfy zone. You're sitting on your couch. You know, you're watching TV. Yes, you're working in 9 to 5. You know, the money's cool. Why should I go and do a little side business? I'm okay.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
But tomorrow might be a different story.
Correct.
So, for me, I mean, it was more or less like, you know, like I said, I missed that opportunity. And who knows? I probably wouldn't be working where I'm working now.
Right.
You know, I would have been doing that.
It's right.
So
living your best life.
Yeah, living my best life. So, you know.
Like your friend, shout out to your friend. Does he know that you had that idea?
No, to this day
he doesn't know. He know
day,
now.
I never called his name.
No, but I think it's interesting. I'm glad that you brought that up because I do think that sometimes people get in their own way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're always encouraging people to go out, but there's a lot of risk associated with it.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't fault people. Sometimes it's like, this is a sure thing. I know I'm going to get this paycheck every day. I got kids to feed. I got bills to pay. And so entrepreneurship is risky, right?
It's not easy either.
And it costs money.
Yeah.
And you end up working more hours for yourself than you ever did for anybody else, right?
Yeah.
But I'd like to think that the reward is worth that time. What do you think?
It's definitely worth the time because, I mean, suppose you actually, you know, you strike it rich. So now you don't have to work as hard, you know. And sometimes not everybody wants to have a manager or a boss tell them what they want to do or what you have to do. You know, sometimes, and even in my case, I just felt that I was destined for something more than what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, you know, I have confidence in myself, and any entrepreneur should have confidence in themselves to say, look, I'm going to go for this.
Right.
If I fail, guess what? I'm just going to get up and try again. That's how we was built. I mean, you learn how to walk that way.
That's exactly right.
So just get up.
So speaking of that, what is sort of your big vision? Is it your goal to do FlowAI full time? Like what are we doing? What's
my employer's watching it.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm just, you know.
Honestly, my ultimate goal is just to get it to a level where I can let the business run itself.
Okay.
And then I will cross that bridge when I get to it.
Right.
I'm going to do FlowAI 100%, or I'm just going to, you know, continue to run things in parallel.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, I think the nature of the business, you could do that. Like, just because you're the owner doesn't have to mean that you're also the operator.
Correct.
Like, I would think that you could hire people to do these implementations, and you would just own the business.
And that's the beauty of AI.
Yeah.
You know, you literally can be in two places at once through AI agents.
I know.
So that's the beauty of it.
I was having a conversation with my team today about someone built an AI platform for AI agents to gather and have conversations. Have you heard that?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it just yet, but yes.
But I mean, can you imagine? Look, let me not go too far out of bounds. I start to talk about conspiracy theories and all of that. But right now, AI is, I think, serving its purpose. It's making the way we do business, I think, a little bit more efficient. Yes. Like I said earlier, it's freeing up the time, and time is money. You know, if you can go out and get the business instead of answering calls and those sort of things, that gives you back the opportunity to increase your income. So when you decide how you're going to, or which clients you're going to support, what are some of the first things that you ask or engage with them on?
I mean, the very first time I'm going to talk to them about it's like, you know, again, what's your pressure points?
Yes.
You know, that's really the main thing. And then I just try to get a full understanding of the workflow. And once I get that full understanding and that clarity, and then we just look, I said, well, I look for, honestly, the most smallest item that we can automate that will have, like, the most impact.
Got you. Okay. So from my standpoint, what I heard is this is affordable. I can do this because you're not, like, you need a full scale, you know, replaced system. You're looking at the thing that's going to give the biggest impact, which I think a lot of small and medium-sized businesses would appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
What'd you say? Is that the feedback that you're getting?
Most definitely, that's what I'm looking at. Because the misconception that people have is that automations cost a lot of money.
Yes.
But that's not entirely true.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you want this big platform, then obviously you're going to have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. But there's multiple ways of going about doing it. You know, and again, start small. That's what I always tell everybody. Let's just automate this one little aspect of your operations. And guess what? If I turn your business from 9 to 5 into 24/7,
right,
how much money can you potentially make?
Correct.
But there's just one little small little change. You didn't need this whole entire, you know, enterprise grade automation. It was just one little small aspect. So focus on the small aspect, and then we could scale up as we go along.
Right. And so, you know how they say this open source this, you know, Chat GPT is open source and all this other stuff. So how do you determine what to use? Like, are you programming all of these things individually? Are they bespoke, or are you utilizing open source to kind of get people to where they need to be?
A bit of both. Obviously, it's a need-by-need basis.
Okay.
So if we're building a custom CRM, then we're just utilizing the information that's required.
Okay.
You know, nothing extra, you know, because at the end of the day, it's all about data security as well.
Right.
You know, so, and once we get that, then from there, then we start talking about just using best industry practices around the storage of the data and the usage of it.
Okay. All right. That doesn't seem too difficult.
No.
But talking about data security and PIPA and all that kind of stuff, if you are using third-party systems, how do you ensure that the client's data is being protected and is safe?
Well, me personally, I stay away from using, how to say, like, very personal type data.
Okay.
You know, I automate processes.
Got you.
I don't automate, you know, how to say it, like your phone number.
Right.
And things. Well, I shouldn't say phone number, because for medical records, I would say things of that nature. Because phone numbers and a person's address or email address, to be honest, that's more or less common knowledge nowadays. But when we go beyond the common knowledge, I personally stay away from that, because at the end of the day, I tell everybody, whether you like it or not, anything can be hacked.
Yes, it's true.
You know, we utilize it's called Superbase. You know, and that's is an enterprise grade encryption services. But that's not to say that it can't be hacked.
Right.
You know, if I'll be lying to you if I say that, I'm 100% secure.
Yeah, nobody is, right? But you do what you can to ensure that people's information and data is protected. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's all you can do, right?
Pretty much.
It's somebody right now sitting somewhere trying to figure out how to get access to people's stuff. And that's just the nature of the industry, I think, right? Yes. I wonder what your thoughts are about AI in general and what you think is coming next, especially as it relates to what you provide, the services that you provide.
AI in general is constantly evolving. And it's funny because I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day. If you want to know what's coming next, go watch Star Trek.
Isn't that something? And how long ago did Star Trek come out?
Yeah.
Really?
So think about it. Did you ever watch Star Trek?
I did.
All right. The terminology that people use right now is called prompt engineering. You know what I mean? You got to do prompts.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take it back to Star Trek. Computer, can you analyze A, B, and C? That was written how long? How old Star Trek?
I know, it's very old.
So it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Prompt engineering that we are now telling ChatGPT to do in 2026. So yeah, go.
Just go to, okay, so I have to put that on my to-do list. I have some Star Trek rewind so we can see what's coming next.
Anything's possible, basically. That's what I'm getting at. Like, there's endless possibilities with AI. You know, don't put anything out of your mind when it comes to AI's evolution.
Okay. Well, you said it. You heard him. And I would say for those who maybe nervous because we've worked with people like in the trades industries, and we had one gentleman who was just like anti-AI, like legit. No, absolutely not. And then by the end of his time with us, he was on the AI bandwagon.
Yep.
And I think it's a matter of, like you said, how if I can automate this one little thing that has the biggest impact for you and changes the way you do business, then why wouldn't you try it, right?
Very true.
Why wouldn't you try it? So from the standpoint of those who may be listening and who are interested in taking advantage of FlowAI and your solutions, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, we have the website, which is www.flowaibm.com.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way. My whole calendar is up to date and whatnot, so you can book a free consultation with me.
All right. Which is good because I think it allows people to be introduced to what it is that you do. And your free consultation, how long is that usually?
Usually a half hour.
Okay.
And the consultation is really up to 4 workflows.
Okay.
You know, because there's a difference between operating for 1 to 4 workflows versus a full, what we call an AI audit. So that's auditing your entire business from top to bottom.
Got you.
That's a whole next level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, hey, look, at least you provide the next level. That's good to know. Well, look, I appreciate you for coming and sharing a little bit about what you do, as well as your entrepreneurial journey. That's always interesting to me to learn how people actually got into owning and operating their own businesses. But I really appreciate you for coming in and sharing with us. And I guess when there are updates, I'll watch Star Trek, but next time you can come in and provide us with the update if there's anything new on the horizon or that we should be looking forward to. But until then, I just want to thank you again for minding your business with us. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Exactly. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.